director should stick to making beer commercials. I don't need video to sell my records, they'll sell on their own.
So right now, you may be wondering, what is Running Out of Luck? And honestly, I don't know. It's a movie starring Mick Jagger as Mick Jagger, and it's kind of insane. I don't know what the mindset was behind making this, I don't know what genre it is, I do know it's hard to come across, but believe me when I tell you, you won't be expecting this. Technically, you could call the Mick Jagger solo album She's the Boss a soundtrack to this, as every song is featured here, and as far as information goes, we don't have much. The Wikipedia page is basically nothing. I mean, there should be more written on this. I'm going to assume it has to do with some content that's less than frowned upon today, but such content that we will get to is kind of the least of it. As someone who commonly seeks out stuff like this, not many films can compete. Yeah, you can go real obscure, but again, it stars Mick Jagger as himself, has music from an album some Stones fans may not even know about. I personally love the album, I mean it's got Jeff Beck, rest in peace. And the movie is batshit insane. That's why it's so bizarre. And I go as far to say it rivals Pulp Fiction, and you don't know what's gonna happen next. Does that make it a good movie? Not technically. I don't think public opinions are very high for this, for those who have seen it. I wouldn't call anything here artistically impressive, aside from maybe the music sections. But there comes a time when something is so insane, so random, you can't help but kinda like it. Is this one of those times? Well, let's see. So technically the movie opens to Mick Jagger and his then partner Jerry Hall, I guess playing herself too, getting ready to shoot a video in Rio. But in my case, I just see random shit.
Bloody spoiled.
Yes, like a glut of plums. How about beauty, brains, and sex?
It doesn't rain here all the time, does it?
Yes, but tonight.
You know I'm allergic to feathers.
Feather allergy? Speaking of random, Dennis Hopper is directing the video for the song Half a Loaf. And while it is a song that I really like, maybe my favorite on the album, you really gotta see this version. Yeah, you can find the same video on YouTube, but it won't have Dennis Hopper randomly yelling at Mick Jagger in various different tones. He goes from loving it to being angry, eventually Jagger fires him. You haven't even gotten to the crazy parts yet, you already know this movie is high on something. At the same time, him and Jerry try to make each other jealous. I don't think she affects anything in this movie, you know, plot-wise. And at this point, you may not be expecting any real conflict, just stuff like this. But then he picks up 3 girls, and this happens.
Hey, wait a minute, she's a geezer.
The 3 of them proceed to beat him up, rob him, throw him in the back of some truck that drives away, and 2 of the thieves then kill the other. They can eventually find the body in the car they dumped, and I don't think that affects anything either. It's just what happens. The next scene with Dennis Hopper and Jerry requires a montage.
I mean, how does she think she's gonna get that home, huh? It does look a little like Mick, though, doesn't it? Well, there goes the shoot.
I don't know what to make of any of that. And Mick, now abandoned in the Brazil countryside, leads into another song.
Running out of luck. Running out of speed.
There is something hilarious about watching Mick wander in the desert, especially given his arrogant persona. But unlike Stevie Nicks, who wasn't willing to touch the sand, Mick does go the extra mile here. By the way, the tape makes a cameo. Don't know what the point of the statue is. And I know he isn't a complete vegetarian, but the food stand he thinks he sees may violate those guidelines. McDonald's. Too far! We then get to some scenes that, hope doesn't get this demonetized. And upon thinking he's been rescued, that's not the case. This woman is a plantation owner, and yeah. So while She's the Boss is another fun song, I can't believe this scene exists.
Stay home, my child. Stay home with me. Stay home, my child. Stay home with me.
Basically, he becomes a sex slave, played for laughs, I guess. But I don't see laughing at this. Nor do I see any streaming sites picking this up. But still, like the video, it's right down there, and subscribing is down there too. The gaming channel is also there for the same content with games. Link in the description. So in a scene that involves Jagger dressing in drag, a common theme here, we have Raydon Chong playing... oh, fuck me. Slave Girl. He didn't even give her a name. The credits literally just say, Slave Girl. I'm not going to defend this in the name of it's just a movie. There's no good reason for that.
This is fucking sick.
The Stones may have an extremely popular song about literally abusing a slave, but that doesn't make it okay. We then have a sex scene, which is kind of unfortunate because I really like the song Hard Woman.
She's a hard woman to please, and I thought about letting her know.
Real pretty song, and the only one to have a video that is not in the movie. And I wish they used that instead. You may not like the way this looks, but believe me, you do not want to see what's in this scene. Not that I could show it on YouTube, but let's just say it consists of things you don't want to see Mick Jagger doing. He manages to escape, and moving on to a less offensive scene, he finally finds a phone, but the owners won't let him use it, as they don't know who he is. Tries to convince them of who he is, and there's so much love about this. A Stone CD just happening to be there despite being out of place. Random kid copying him, still nobody getting it. It's just amazing. You can't help but love this. Doesn't exactly move the plot, as a few of the last scenes didn't, but we're not gonna skip this. So upon him and Slave Girl finally getting to a real phone, for whatever reason, they think Mick is dead. I guess because he never came back, you would think this guy would know what he sounds like, but this bit is hilarious.
Mick's dead. He's dead and gone.
The next scene of complete insanity involves going to a casino to win the money he needs to get back.
Yes, I got the winning touch. Lucky and love.
Of course, this means cheating. That doesn't go too well. Somehow a shootout takes place, and he's arrested and thrown in jail. Okay, so despite how insanely unpredictable this movie is, it does start to drag a bit. The desert, the plantation, and now jail, another music number. And while it is a good song, I don't think we needed an extended version. That said, this is really fucking crazy. We find out Jerry Hall is dating a senator, because she's still in the movie. She gets kidnapped, assaulted, gets away, shoots somebody, drowns them in the pool, steals his dog. This happens during the song, and I have no idea why. I can't comprehend the mindset behind any of this. She's barely even in the movie, but for some reason, these events take place. I guess it fits in with how this film is, but to be honest, it may be one of the most random things I've ever seen in a film. I'm dead serious, it's just bizarre. So, Slave Girl devises an escape plan by seducing the warden. We're not going to show that. Luckily, a prison break is very easy, and that's pretty much it. She apparently picked up enough money at the casino, but there's no planes out that day, so he has to stay one more night, leading into just another night, and it's pretty good. In fact, it's real good. Even if you can't get into this movie for obvious reasons, the music does make it enjoyable. As you may know, the solo album compacted a feud in the band that nearly ended the Stones. It may cause people not to like it, but still, it's pretty damn good. I mean, it's got Jeff Beck. The ending is, of course, complete nonsense and hard to make out. I guess they find out he's not dead, recording music in some pub, throwing a guy out of the room, money flying in the air. It's the ending the movie needs. And that's Running Out of Luck, the movie with Mick Jagger. It's entertaining. I mean, it's not a good movie, it's completely random, it's at times beyond offensive, but if you get past that, it's also real damn fun. First time I saw it, I couldn't believe it, not remotely what I expected, and if a movie like this can get that kind of reaction, that's still a plus. Upon second viewing, I did notice it dragging a bit more. The shock value is a big part of it, And for the most part, that's all it has. That and pretty damn good music. I mean, these scenes are just gold. But I guess the combination of having Mick Jagger as himself and moments that are beyond unexpected make this a movie that you have to see at least once. It's kind of like Maximum Overdrive. You'd have to assume being high on crack played a role. Also, Jagger and Estevez do star in a different movie, so that's a thing. But to be honest, Maximum Overdrive is more cohesive than this. And believe me, that's saying something. I mean, it had a plot. So do I recommend this movie? Well, I kinda have to. I can't say it's good or remotely well put together, but in some cases it doesn't need to be. It's a film you really have to see to believe, and in most cases, that makes it worth seeing. So I'm the analyst, and remember kids, a lot of options here, gambling is probably gonna end badly.